She's just a girl and she's on fire.
Hey everyone, it's Holly and Kate again. Here is our third video. Hope you guys had a great week.
Yes, and today we are going to talk with you about how to get started running.
Yes, and actually you can see we have our Auburn Classic shirts on. We both ran. Yesterday I ran my first half marathon and Holly ran her second 10K, which is major. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, a year ago I couldn't even run half of a mile. And yesterday I ran 13.1 miles without stopping, and Holly ran 6.2 miles without stopping. Mm-hmm. And how did we even get there? So that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to start running.
How to start running. So first, you may ask yourself, where do you begin? How are you going to run half a mile, a whole mile, 13.1 miles, if you can't even run now?
Am I ready to run? How do I know when I'm ready to run?
Well, Kate, how did you know you were ready to run?
Well, for me, and everyone is different, but the way I started was walking. And once I was able to comfortably walk for more than an hour, I decided I need more of a challenge to get my heart rate up. And so I started to incorporate running. What about you, Holly?
Well, Kate encouraged me to start walking, and then I did the interval training with Couch to 5K, that app. But then I got tired of it because I am a person who gets bored easily. So I just decided I'm just going to run this whole mile. I'm going to run 2 miles, or I'm going to run 3 miles. But before I got to that point, I definitely did interval training and high cardio exercise and stuff like that first.
Right. And if you are overweight, which both of us were and still are trying to get it off, but
still overweight.
If you are overweight, you need to be really careful. I mean, yes, there is a strong correlation between losing weight and running, but you need to make sure that running is safe for you. And we can't answer that question for you. Only you or your doctor would know. So just please make sure you're being safe.
Good job, Kate.
All right. Thanks.
So, a few tips to help you get started running. One would be to pick a flat surface to start with.
Yes.
We started at the track. I live near the high school here, and we started running on the track, and Kate would actually run through the neighborhood, and I would just still be running on the track.
That's okay.
But that was really helpful because it's a flat surface. And then also on a treadmill, if you're going to use a treadmill, start with it flat. And that actually is a treadmill is a really good tool to measure the amount of time you can actually run in, because you can actually speed it up, and that helps you maintain that speed.
Right.
As opposed to going by yourself.
And while we're talking about speed, let's talk about this. Speed. Okay, so when you first start running, you want to run super fast, right? I mean, you haven't run in a long time, or maybe you've never run at all, and you're just ready to take off and run.
Or you think you're running super fast. It's like those pictures where you think you look like this,
and
but you really look like
dying. Yeah. Exactly. So here's my opinion about speed. When you start off, if you start with a 12-minute mile pace to 13-minute mile pace, that's a really good pace to start with.
Yes.
And the thing is, you're going to feel good for the first couple minutes, but then you're probably going to struggle a little bit. Right. So it's really good to pace yourself. Get an app, Map My Run, Nike Runkeeper. There's a bunch of different apps, which we can talk about later. But get an app to show you your pace, or if you're on a treadmill, 5.0 is a 12-minute mile pace. Now, when you're ready to get faster, you can get faster, but that's a great way to start. And just really, really, really quickly, interval training would be run for 3 minutes at 5.0, walk for a minute. Run for 3 minutes, walk for a minute at the same rate, and you're going to feel like, oh, maybe I could go faster. Well, make sure you finish your workout first, and then next time speed up. But do it for 20 minutes. And if you can, ideally, you're going to shorten that distance in between running to nothing at all eventually, and you'll be able to run.
Right.
Also, invest in good shoes. We both learned this the hard way.
Yes.
Invest in good shoes, invest in good socks. Okay, now, the big thing. And Holly and I were talking about this before we hit record. How do you know you've been pushed to your limit? Well, thankfully, both of us played sports in high school and thought we were going to die many times on a basketball court. I mean, talking about I'm dry heaving, I'm going to puke.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's awful. I mean, I'm going to faint. I'm going to pass out. Like, we went through that as adolescents.
Or your knee is hurting, or your ankles are hurting.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of that has to do with your mind being stronger than the pain.
Yes.
But then there are some injuries that can result. So make sure that if you need to know your limit. And we both knew our limit because of previous sporting activities and all. But make sure that you know, if your knee is hurting, it could be just because you need to stretch your hamstrings. Or you could really have hurt your knees. So make sure you're doing everything possible to prevent any injuries as well.
Definitely. And know your limit. I mean, do high cardio exercises other than running, which is something that we do. For example, when we work out with our trainer, but you could do it in group fitness classes, or you could take a fast walk, or you could lift weights and have not much rest in between. Stuff that gets your heart rate up is really going to help you, that cardio function, and add to your ability to run. Also, we talked about this last week. Stay hydrated.
Yes.
Drink water.
Water.
Stop, drop in a chug. Maybe
You got it.
Yeah. Don't run after you eat. Stretch. Those types of things.
Yes. Right? And remember, it's mind over matter.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there are so many times that when I'm running, especially in the 10K, you want to stop. Don't stop unless you're really injured. Unless you're really injured.
Yeah. Or you're throwing up.
Yeah.
I mean, which can happen. They can. I have not thrown up from running. Have you?
No.
See? No. And we pushed ourselves really hard. We felt
I thought I might.
Yeah, I did too. We thought we would, but we didn't. All right, so we're going to end with just some thoughts from our race yesterday. We're both really proud of ourselves that we accomplished this major goal, and we actually have one more half marathon. It'll be Holly's first half marathon and my second one coming up in April. And so
April 25th.
Oh, it's getting close.
It is.
So what have we learned? Like, what did we learn from yesterday? I ran 13.1 miles. The first thing that I did was I didn't really have a goal time. I just decided I'm going to try to run the whole way, which is a great goal for first 5K or first mile or anything you do. I'm going to run the whole way. I'm not going to worry about time. I did start off a little fast, which I regretted later, and I had to slow down, but that's okay. I hurt. There were parts of me that really hurt. My knee hurt. My ankles hurt. I had a blister. And I was like, oh, come on, Kate, and talked to myself in my head, even though it sounds crazy. And I kept going. I made myself keep going. And when I was finished, it was truly mind over matter. It really was. Yeah. What about you?
I would have to agree that I had to talk to myself a lot throughout. Also, the songs that came on, I would think about specific, things that happened in my life. I can remember. I can remember riding around in the car to this song with people from high school or whatever. And then also, there were points throughout my race yesterday where I was also getting blisters, and I was thinking, great, I'm going to have blisters on the bottom of my feet again. But I didn't stop. Don't stop. And I think, I was really proud of myself for accomplishing that yesterday.
Right, it truly is mind over matter. But, and I didn't mean to cut you off at all, but if you are starting, please know that there's no way.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's no way.
Just don't give up on yourself.
No, but don't go out and say, I'm going to run a half marathon for my first race. I'm going to run a 10K for my first race. I'm going to run a 5K, and I've never run before. Do not do that.
Right.
Start with a mile, or start with half a mile. Then tackle a mile. A mile is 4 laps around the track. Half mile is 2 laps. Great way to start.
Great way to start.
Else? I know we're going to put some pictures in.
We are going to put some pictures in of our race yesterday, a few videos. I have to say, I got really emotional. Actually thinking of Kate, because I finished my 10K before she finished hers, and her dad was there talking, and at one point he said, so this is the farthest Kate's ever run right now. She's on mile 10, and this is the furthest, and we're like, yeah, this is it. And so I was just really proud of her, and I got emotional, and we went down, and I told her, I texted her, and I said, there's a horrible hill at the end.
And
save your energy.
She was right.
Save your energy for the last hill. And I'm just really proud of you.
Oh, You're gonna make
Really
me
proud of
cry.
you.
Well, it was really sweet, and you'll see in a video. My dad and my sister and Holly spread out on the last mile to cheer me on, and I cried my way into the finish line. So it was a great experience, and you'll get to see it in just a second. So
Yes.
thanks for tuning in again. We hope that you start running. Please share
Please
any
do.
running experiences you have, and let us know if you have any questions. HallsandKate@gmail.com. And again, I'm CSGetsFit_ on Instagram, and you are
Paul's getting fit.
Of course.
I forget.
Yeah, I know.
But you guys have a great week,
Yes.
and
We'll see you next
we'll
week.
see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
You're my inspiration. We got you covered from here on. You're going to hit Holly next, then Hannah.
Oh, you guys are gonna make me cry.
You look great, Kate.
She's just a girl and she's on fire.